There we go. Make sure you save these hanger things. Look at this. It's horrible. Okay, so in its current form, it's not crossing where this indentation is. So if we shortened this up a touch on the big end, then it would start to get to that point. Okay, it's time to tack it up. I'm using some magnets to make sure that that lip stays flush. I've put some marks on the pipe so that I have orientation down. I'll do 3 tack welds and fit it up, and if it doesn't work, I can grind off the tack welds and adjust. Before you tack weld, clean up the surface that you're gonna weld. I made a long line so that I don't grind off the line, and then I made a line inside the center of that hole right there. One other thing I like to do is have a test pipe around, do a practice tack to make sure that I'm on the right track with it. And it's not gonna move. I'm just doing fit up. Go easy on me in the comment section. All right, so that fits. We don't want that going on. Now, when you do cut these, you're gonna notice that some of this material will kind of fall down and create a lip. So you are gonna wanna sand off some of that material on the inside there. You want to set your exhaust up, if you get the same kit, so that you have the expansion downstream from the exhaust flow. If you did it this way, let's just say it was flowing this way, you would get that lip. This way, it doesn't have the lip. Putting this on, no gasket or anything, and securing that top bolt on just temporarily. And I want to make sure that we don't have clearance issues. As this thing goes down the road, it doesn't bounce against the frame and make a bunch of noise. So that's why I'm test fitting it in this manner. Set up my little Harbor Freight magnet right here. Makes it pretty handy to put exhaust pipe onto the ground. And then what I had to do was I had to file off the inner flange of this a little bit so that this piece would fit down inside of it. Sometimes to get these pieces to fit together, you got to get a little creative. Then I had to pound on it with a rubber mallet from up here while guiding it in. Here, of course, I'm gonna weld it later. Okay, let's see how we did. Time to scuff this thing up and acetone it and then tack it. Kind of see what I did there. So here's my tack, and as you can see, I use these little pins to keep the spacing good. And here's the issue at the moment. Okay. If you save old scrap pieces. So what I theoretically could do here is weld this ring to this muffler, and then I gotta trim some of this stuff off, but you get the idea. Tell you this, guys, I've got a lot of respect for welders out there. This is not an easy job. Not that I'm even any sort of authority whatsoever. I feel like I did okay for my very first time really welding. MIG welding maybe 20 years ago, and I never did it right. So this is really, truly my first time. These aren't stack of dimes. Remember, this pipe slid into this one. This is just more to hold the pipe in place and to prevent any pinhole leaks. To prevent corrosion is spray it with VHT high temp paint. I took the flapper disc to it. Now this is where I got some boogery welds going on right here. I think that was from the gap between the flange and this. You know, experienced welders always tell you, make sure you have almost zero gap. I want to show you what a pinhole looks like. You see that pinhole right there? So I know I need to tack that spot right there. Sometimes I take a Sharpie and mark that spot. Looking for light coming through. There's another one right there. Very important to do this check, especially since this will be at the cat and flange right underneath where people sit. The vise over here, I found these brackets. I had to cut them. I'm going to weld them to the flange. Sand that one down a little more. And these happen to fit perfectly in this hanger. And then this grommet portion goes into that stationary piece. All in all, for a 125 titanium, relatively cheap welder, that's pretty good. Do the same thing across this top part here. Just putting in the strengthening brace on. What do you guys think about that one? There's a weird pause right there. I must have gone too fast when I kind of came over that hump. I just need this brace to stay on. I shined it up a little bit with a flapper disc, and then I'm going to paint it. It's not the prettiest thing in the entire world. Again, gives me a very, very good appreciation for catback exhaust systems that are TIG welded together. I'm going to get this thing installed, get it fitted up, and then start working on that muffler. Muffler is going in. WD-40 is your friend if you have these rubber grommet things. I understand why people buy catback exhausts. But hey, I have a new tool, a welder, and all the tools associated with the welder, and I feel like I got better as I went. Hopefully, when I start it now, this works. I'm going to start it up on the lift, and then I'm going to check for leaks. So here's the first cold start. It is not obnoxious. It's not a fart can. I think it has a little more tone. See if you can hear that right there. So between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM. Maybe you can hear that. There's a little more sound for sure. Yeah. We'll try to get some clips from outside the vehicle going away, because what everybody's worried about is rasp. And I think the total flow mufflers and bullets really help with a deep tone, so you don't get that angry bee fart can sound. But it's definitely sporty. It has a stock muffler, so. Oh, I didn't do it. Okay, good, I didn't do it. your car's thinking.
No. It was like water.
Whew, that's right. Is it worth it to build your own exhaust? That's the question. And I think my answer is, if you can afford a catback, just do that. It is pretty hard. I have a lot of respect for welders, especially guys that do exhaust all the time. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, like or comment, all that stuff. We'll see you on the next one.